today, it's November 27th, 2023. The United States Court of Appeals has struck down one of the important tools in the enforcement of the Voting Rights Act, just as the U.S. Supreme Court has been chipping away significant voting rights protection that benefits the Republican Party, who are working double time to do away with voting rights that protects racial minorities and the immigrant communities. I'm Esmeralda Padilla-Gould, and welcome to The Pulse.
And I'm Sam Buban. Welcome to The Pulse.
In another setback for minority voters' voting rights advocates, the 8th Circuit of the U.S. Court of Appeals on Monday last week, November 20th, ruled that the Arkansas chapter of the NAACP and the Arkansas Public Policy Panel cannot challenge the redistricting maps in Arkansas because Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act does not provide a private right of action. The groups had sought to challenge Arkansas lawmakers' redistricting in the state where the legislature is controlled by Republicans. The same legislature that drew only 11 black majority districts out of the 100-seat State House of Representatives, when in reality, Arkansas has 16% black population. This kind of racial gerrymandering is common in states with Republican-controlled legislature. The decision of the 8th Circuit Court of Appeals will be appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court. This ruling, if upheld by highest court, will put an end to the heart and essence of the Voting Rights Act, which is meant to protect minority voters. Individual minority voters who are disfranchised or denied to vote for many barriers that the Republican Party are trying to enact usually don't have the financial capacity to file a lawsuit, let alone a long and protracted period before their case is adjudicated. That being the usual case, a voter or few voters can work together with organizations like the Associated Civil Liberties Union, the ACLU, or the National Association for the Advancement of Colored Persons, the NAACP, and other grassroots organizations to bring a lawsuit to challenge rules and legislations that impedes the right to vote or fair representation. Similar cases that had ruled and upheld by another panel of the Circuit Court of Appeals is the Alabama and Mississippi and Georgia racial gerrymandering districts, which the court ordered a redrawing of congressional maps, whereby blacks and other minority voters are denied representations in the legislature-drawn maps. Some political observers describe the 8th Circuit ruling as a death blow to the Voting Rights Act. This is another step back from the civil rights and voting progress made in the 1970s to the 90s. And the Supreme Court, as it is now, is a majority conservatives and majority appointed by Republican presidents, with 2, Justice Kavanaugh and Justice Amy Barrett, appointed by Donald Trump, and Justice Clarence Thomas and Justice Samuel Alito consistently voting against these rights.
In the Israel-Hamas war, the Biden administration has been providing Israel with the location of humanitarian groups in Gaza for weeks to prevent strikes against their facilities. But Israel continued to hit such sites. This was reported by the online magazine Politico. According to the same report, the information included GPS coordinates of a number of medical facilities and information on the movements of aid groups in Gaza to the Israeli government for at least a month, according to 3 people familiar with the communications that were granted anonymity because speaking publicly would make it more difficult for aid groups to operate in Gaza. In spite of this data, Israel has launched operations against Hamas in or near the sites, including hospitals, leading to destruction of buildings and other critical supplies. It is, however, unclear if the U.S. government has compiled a formal no-strike list or if it is providing one-off guidance. But officials have helped transmit coordinates of groups that provide food and medical care in Gaza and operate out of hospitals, smaller offices, and live in guest houses. Among the sites provided to the Israeli government are the medical facilities, including Al-Shifa Hospital, which Israeli forces took over last week after several airstrikes landed nearby. In public statements, U.S. officials have stressed that aid groups are struggling to operate in the Gaza Strip because Hamas, noting the militant group, uses civilians as human shields and operate tunnels underneath hospitals. The Israeli invasion of Gaza has become a contentious issue in the U.S. and around the world, as the destruction is similar to what the Russians did in Ukraine, as Gaza turns into a massive pile of rubble. In a recent development, the negotiations for the release of hostages being held by Hamas may come to realization soon. But details are being worked out between Israel and Hamas and being brokered by a representative from Qatar. Israel wanted hostages released before agreeing to a ceasefire. As of this report, already 24 in a first batch of hostages has been released to Israeli authorities. Among those released, 13 were Israelis, 10 were citizens of Thailand, and 1 Filipino citizen.
Our justice system has been under attack by the Republicans in many parts of the country, as more and more are being prosecuted for crimes committed during the Trump's attempts to hold on to power. In the state of Georgia, the Republican-led legislature came up with a state law creating a commission to discipline erring prosecutors, with Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, which the Republicans wanted to fire for prosecuting Donald Trump. But the Georgia Supreme Court, in an unsigned order, the justices said they have grave doubts about their ability to regulate the duties of district attorneys beyond the practice of law. They said because they hadn't expressly ordered justices to act, they were refusing to act one way or the other. If district attorneys exercise judicial powers, our regulation to exercise that power may well be within our power as head of the judicial branch, the justices wrote. But if district attorneys exercise only executive power, our regulation to regulate the exercise of the power will be beyond the scope of our judicial power. According to a report from the Associated Press, State Representative Houston Gaines, a Republican from Athens, Florida, who helped guide the law through the State House earlier this year, said he believed lawmakers could, as soon as January, remove the requirements for the court to approve the rules, letting the said commission to begin operating in January.
Here's my commentary on the issue. This is another one of those uncharted territories that Republicans keep trying to go into to prevent the administration of justice when their party members are the ones involved or when they differ from the implementation of the norms. These are two separate branches of government in the ruling, the executive branch, to whom the district attorneys belong, and the legislative branch in a collision course and asking the judicial branch to rule. But even if the head of the executive branch rein in on the elected district attorneys because they make prosecutorial decisions, the governor who head the executive branch in that state can also be challenged for abuse of power, just as the Florida Supreme Court ruled against Governor DeSantis for firing a Democratic district attorney. In short, things like this are beyond the norms and concocted for political convenience, like this Georgia Commission. As the expression goes, it is an exercise in futility. We are going to take a commercial break. Please stay with us.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
Welcome back to The Pulse. A three-judge panel in Tennessee ruled that the Republican-drawn state Senate map violates the Constitution of the state of Tennessee. The judges ruled last week. The ruling centers on the Senate district map drawn for Nashville, Tennessee, where the Republicans has a supermajority in the state Senate, and such district maps are drawn once every 10 years. But the same panel refused to render a ruling on the House of Representatives map that is also racially and politically gerrymandered. In the redistrict map for Nashville, Tennessee, it appears that the district numbers are not contiguous and sequential and violates the state constitution. The Constitution mandates that the district numbering had to be consecutive, but the map for 4 Nashville Senate districts are numbered 17, 19, 20, and 21. That the Senate purposely skipped the District 18 and assigned that number to a different place outside Nashville. Democrats, according to those familiar with the case, are not agreeing to it because there are consequences to the 2024 elections and future elections. The numbering matters because the 4-year Senate terms are staggered, putting some districts in the ballot during presidential election years and some on the governor's election year. Currently, out of those 4 districts, 3 are represented by Democrats and 1 is Republican. There are 33 seats in the Tennessee State Senate. 26 are Republicans and 6 are Democrats. Democratic Senators Ramesh Akbari and London Lamar said in a joint statement that today's court ruling against the gerrymandered Senate map is a clear win for the Tennessee Constitution, and that they look forward to advocating for a fair map and transparent process. Separately, other Democrats in Tennessee had argued that the House map in Tennessee also divides more counties than needed to create districts with roughly equal populations, and it dilutes the power of the minority voters. The map splits 30 counties, the maximum permitted by the state House of Representatives. The Tennessee Democratic Party said last week that it would continue fighting the ruling on upholding the House map.
In our international news, last week we ran a segment concerning the runoff election in the North African country of Liberia. They now have a winner. Liberian opposition leader Joseph Boakai prevailed in the runoff election against the incumbent President George Weah by a close margin of just over 1% of the total vote cast. Joseph Boakai received 51 and 49% for George Weah. There was a reported violence when a truck driven by a Weah supporter plowed into a crowd of supporters for Joseph Boakai. There were dozens of seriously injured, but no death has been confirmed as of yet, according to the Reuters news agency.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
In Argentina, the country has elected a new president. Javier Milei won the presidential election. Milei is a far-right political outsider and got 56% of the vote in the runoff election against his left-wing rival Sergio Massa, who got 44%. The biggest consequence for the U.S. is that Sergio Massa, who is a left-wing, could have moved Argentina from using the U.S. dollar and joined the group called BRICS like Brazil and South America. But now Javier Milei is likely to keep and stick to the U.S. dollar as the currency for their trade.
In our Las Vegas community news, close to 200 bicycle riders, mostly mountain bike riders, joined the second annual Rides Giving in reference to Thanksgiving. They gathered together from dozens of bike clubs, as in bicycle clubs, from different racial and cultural background, and converged to make the biggest yet gathering on trail and mountain biking and for food fellowship after the rides. We talked to some of the organizers at that event. We will share the video footage here at the Pulse.
Good morning. This is Sam from the Pulse. Here with us are the riders, COVID riders of Nevada, and we'll be talking to the incoming president, Jesse. Tell us about your organization, Jesse.
Yeah, good afternoon. We're COVID Riders, MTB group, MTB mountain bike community. Actually, this event is our second annual Rides Giving. We last year we started it as it's like a big group ride. Our purpose for this one is to get together all the riders. So because we share the same trail, so whenever we see each other there, anybody needs some help, we'll be able to reach to them and get to know them better. Mostly last year we had like about 10 different mountain bike groups, but this year we had 21 mountain bike groups from Vegas, all over. Some of them are from California also, and yeah, this is like a successful event. Also joined by a different race group. Also, we have Hispanic and a Caucasian also joining us in this big event. And this is Xavier, our vice president of COVID Riders, and Pastor Jeremiah is our admin and our spiritual counselor. And Nora is a Filipina, half Filipina, also part of a different mountain bike group. And yeah, if you guys have like on mountain bike, you can join us, and we'll be happy to get you into the trail. Thank you, Pastor Sam, for being here, and we appreciate you, and thank you, Joe, and thank you once again. And
so let's ask Nora.
Nora,
how many do you think participated in today's event?
In today's event, I believe about 100 or more are here. Yeah, there's quite a few mountain biking groups here in Nevada, so
That's huge.
we all like to get together and have fun, and there's a lot of camaraderie, a lot of friendship, and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a good community.
And this is already your second annual event.
Yes, but I've been riding mountain bikes for 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
That's almost a career.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Great. Pastor Jerry, who put all these things together?
So it just started as a concept by me and Jesse, and then we work it out, and since we know everyone, and so we kind of tap all the leaders of each group. But as Nora said, this is our second annual. Our focus for this year is to become more community active organization, where we will actually go down to Las Vegas community and do something for the community, because we have right now the attendees that we got is like 200 who actually came, and the food that you see and everything that you see, we didn't pull out a single cent from these people. They all wholeheartedly donated all of this out from their hearts. So you know, when community comes together and they knew and they're sincerely coming together for the good of our community, you know, there's money is not an issue. So thank you for coming out. Yeah.
And you're the leader of another group called Road Rider.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about your organization. When did it start?
Started about before COVID, about 2 years before COVID. So we've been going at it for like 6 years strong now. We have over 1,000 riders.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but also we're very thankful to be part of this community. We're outlaws of the concrete. Most of us do this to, it's like our separation. It's our, for most of us, it's like our psychiatrist. We come to see the psychiatrist and we are just happy to be here. It's our set. So it keeps us sane so we can go back to work.
We'll also be talking here with the 9th Aisle MTB, Mountain Bikers. So tell us about your group.
Hi, well, first my name's Richard. This is Junior here. Actually, Junior is kind of like the founder. Together we started this, and basically this being Las Vegas, the 9th island, majority of our members were from Hawaii originally.
Okay.
So just the name 9th Isle MTB. So that's where we came up with the name and whatnot. So.
And how did the two of you end up organizing this 9th Isle MTB?
Yeah, that's good. You know what's funny? We kind of met through a friend and introduced us, and we just happened to start mountain biking, and actually Junior came up with the whole 9th Isle theme, and we kind of just started from there. Really, that's how it started.
I'm Rocket Ron Man, and I'm with the Seven Sentence.
Okay. Ron, how long is this your second time also participating?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yes, we got to do this last year. It was a lot of fun. It's great to have all the riding groups of the community come together and just have a great event and be thankful for riding and food and just coming together as a mountain bike community.
The Seven Cents, how many members you have now in your club?
Well, we have about 30 riders right now. And then on our Facebook group, I don't know how many, there's a lot on there, but we also team up with other groups like Alpha, and we like to do a lot of downhill, crazy, chunky trails. So but we'd love to just get new riders involved in mountain biking and help people when we can.
And do you expect your club membership will grow for the next year?
I think so. I think it will. I'm hopeful, you know.
Yes. Well, you know, it snowballs, you know,
yes.
Year after year.
Every year it gets more and more, and
right.
Just gets people get better and better, and the whole point is just having fun on bikes.
Yes.
You know, and getting more people on bikes.
Well, Ron, thank you for talking to FILAMTV, and we'll have you on our show.
Let me introduce you to this guy. This is H-Man with Alpha. And
H-Man, you're with another group, right?
I'm with the Alpha.
The Alpha. And what's your name, sir?
I go by H-Man. My name's Heron.
H-Man, Harold. Okay. And how many club members you have in your group?
We have about 137.
That's quite a number.
It's a good number. We basically have about 20 that ride constantly.
And how long have you been,
riding?
Your club in existence?
Oh, about a year and a half.
Year and a half. I could only expect it's gonna get bigger by next year. Yeah.
Yes and no. My group has a lot of downhill riders, and not everyone likes the trails we like to ride. So it's a little tough for some people, so they fear coming to our group, but everyone's welcome.
The Cavite Association of Nevada also celebrated last week the annual event they dubbed as Christmas in November at the Suncoast Hotel and Casino Ballroom. Here are some of the videos of the event.
So maligayang Pasko sa inyong lahat. Alright, my name is Cesar El Pino, and my co-host, Ato Luz, one of the founders of Cavite Association of Nevada.
Hello po sa inyong lahat. Good evening, everyone. As my partner here said, my name is Luz Dominda, Sapin, Nicabalo, taga-Imus, Cavite, at saka Pasig Rizal din. Welcome, everyone. Magsayapain kayong gabi. Magkakaisa ng mga Kabitenyo.
Thank you very much for having me here. Nagulat po ako'y pumunta ho dito para manood ng Padilla. Pero nag-F1, it's a spectacular event. I think Las Vegas is the best venue to hold it. I think the night will be great, and I think the whole world, the whole world is watching the city now. We're doing the city proud. I'd like to congratulate also the members of the Padilla Association. Ako po ay nakapunta na sa maraming mga induction associations. I've been to all of them, are all around the United States. It is hard enough to be a member, but it is even harder to be part of the leadership. We should have only one interest in mind, is that whenever we are together, we feel like we're home.
Well, folks, we are out of time. Thank you for watching. Join us again next time. I'm Esmeralda Padilla-Gould.
And I'm Sam Buban. God bless your week.